final time, we are back here with another featured match. And of course, that means we are going to get into the finals. And it is going to be the underdog story, Erik Bergert on the DRYTRON strategy versus, in that case, definitely Goliath in multiple instances because he's as tall as Goliath. He, of course, has titles in his resume, being the former German national champion, Jack Verma. And that is, of course, going to be a Labyrinth deck with him.
Yeah, Jack being very good on a Labyrinth deck, performing the whole day. Crazy, I would say.
Absolutely. And that doesn't need an introduction. The decks will obviously speak for themselves. It should make up for a pretty good final. So let's see how it turns out. Let's start with that first game right now. Okay, there we have them.
There we have them, both players prepared. Erik already throwing his cards there, showing the 5. And there is the fist bump. And now, who will go first?
Okay, I mean, I could imagine that Erik would like to go first here again.
I think Jack also would like to go first.
Sure, a trap deck is no stranger to going first. And again, I think Erik laid out his hand, so that's a pretty big sign of him going second again, I think. And I mean, he beat Inkabui going second, so why not Jack Verma as well?
Yeah, it looks like Jack also announced like the phases, so he will go first.
Okay, so
let's.
Yep, Jack is considering his options here.
Yeah, but I see a lot of monsters, don't I? There is Arias, the Labyrinth.
Okay. Yep, discarding it.
And let's see what is he setting. Because this could literally anything.
Yeah, okay. Erik is considering a response. Ooh.
Oh, and he is special summoning. Is that Ariana, right?
Yep, that is indeed Ariana. So we want to special summon out and search something. And that is the one-of Impermanence. I cannot believe how often Erik has drawn that one-of Impermanence here already.
Yeah, that's crazy. But now Jack gets to special summon Arias from the graveyard.
That's true. Just for free, another monster there.
Yeah, and Jack even looks happy about that, kind of. I don't know.
Doesn't seem too phased. I mean, that means Erik will have to play with one less card in his hand. And it seems like he still has access to trap cards here pretty easily. Ooh, normal summon of Backjack. I don't know. It's always so funny how Dinkabui builds a deck to a new degree, and then all of a sudden it's standard. Like, okay, Backjack now all of a sudden is in every Labyrinth deck. Okay, sure, we agreed on that.
I thought actually the same thing right now. I thought, like, without Dinkabui, no one would even consider this card in Labyrinth.
Yep, he played it in Bologna, he made 3rd place, and now Jack is just summoning out SP and is looking, of course, at the top 3 cards of his deck through the effect of Backjack, trying to find a powerful trap card that he can set there.
And he decided really fast, so it looked like the decision wasn't that hard.
Yep.
But only one set card. That looks like a bit low.
And also only one card in hand, so honestly not the craziest opening here for Jack. I mean, he has SP, but still, Erik, we saw that. He can play through a couple of things and then still end up on something great. And I would be excited for another episode of Erik activating DRYTRON effects, and he's starting with the effect of Gamma, so not the greatest combination to start off.
Those two are only Gamma and Delta.
Yep.
So the worst 2 names you could have.
Exactly. Sadly, in that case for Erik, bringing out the Gamma, immediately also bringing back the Delta he discarded or tributed rather.
Yeah, and he's now really relying on the Beta to resolve, I think.
So, will that be allowed by Jack? Because that, I mean, he can unsummon, just get rid of the Mubeta Fafnir, of course, but that would still lead to the sending to the graveyard effect resolving.
Yes, it does. So let's see.
Okay, so Jack considering the options, is he going to do it? It's also so funny because, of course, not too many people are left in the venue. Everybody is already going home. It's already late at night. It's 10 p.m. But therefore, we now kind of have to...
and there is
Dogmatica Punishment. We have to whisper here and watch together and enjoy together those finals. I mean, there's still plenty of you guys that stayed with us. Still over 650 people joining us here. Shout out to every single one of you. All the love. And we will see who we are going to crown here as the next HDK champion.
Also, Punishment is really, really strong here, getting rid of both. And Erik is forced to use Called by the Grave while an Elder Entity enters. But we just shade SP Little Knight.
Yep, SP Little Knight will get rid of the Delta anyways. And now Erik, I think, is left with 2 cards in hand. And I mean, DRYTRON with only 2 cards left in hand. I don't know how much it's going to do. And Jack now also announced...
Will he hit the trap?
Oh, big welcome Labyrinth, I think I just saw
yeah,
there.
Yeah, but he stacked it on top of the deck.
Yeah,
so.
of course. We all knew that was coming.
Yeah.
We all knew that was coming, and I think just there it looks pretty decent all around.
Yeah, I mean, also, Erik used the. Oh, Erik is passing. I mean,
That is the pass. I was already kind of thinking that might be happening. Jack now going for the big welcome Labyrinth, and we saw that earlier in some featured matches too. Labyrinth nowadays actually just completely able to OTK, honestly.
yeah, also, like, the reason why it was super tough for Erik now was that he used the Gamma already, special summoning the Delta from the graveyard, and now Delta is the one that's been banished.
Yep.
So there wasn't really anything he could use. And if I saw correctly, I think he drew the Chaos Max Sorcerer, Erik, so.
Yeah, he just definitely doesn't have anything that he can use there right now.
Yeah. And at this point, I would maybe even think about scooping him up. But on the other hand, I think Erik's deck is a lot better in Tom.
Yeah. I mean, he has a strong deck. He had a strong showing until now. So let's just play this guy. Let's just have him play it out. Just in general, as a general question, what do you think? Just comparing those two decks to each other, matchup wise, what is the favorable deck between Labyrinth and DRYTRON?
So I think it really depends a lot on the deck build you're doing, because if you're having like a super heavy furniture package in the Labyrinth deck, I think the matchup is pretty good for the Labyrinth.
Okay.
But here we see Jack having cut some hand traps to add cards like Trap Trick or more the Ruma Karma Cannons.
Yep.
Or the Backjack as well, because you need to hit with the Backjack.
That's true.
So that's the one thing. But therefore he loses a lot of power against combo heavy decks.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And it's now his turn. We are going for Ariana, searching, and I think we searched the furniture piece. And we are going to discard 2 cards there.
So yeah, now we have the heavy Stovey Torby in rotation, setting us a copy of Big Welcome Labyrinth. And now we really have our resource loop live.
Okay.
Because there we special back the Coup Clock.
Here it comes.
And now I think Jack should really be able to easily OTK here, because against one Delta, I don't think that does much.
It looks pretty measly there for sure.
Now let's see, there is the
big welcome Labyrinth now too. No response by Erik. We know in game 1 there's not going to be much interruption from the hand on his side.
I mean, effectively there will none, because Erik used all of his main deck interruptions already.
Totally. So there we have Lady Labyrinth, and Erik picks up his cards. He knows there's no way back into this. 1-0 for Jack Verma. One game away from winning the entire thing here, from taking down the event.
Yeah, and Jack now is so close to winning this. Just like winning so easily in this game. It looked like Erik had no chance.
Yep.
To be fair, he didn't open either Alpha nor the Delta, so not Delta, the move. No, what's it called?
Alpha and Zeta.
Alpha and Zeta, yeah.
Exactly.
Alpha, neither of them, so yeah.
Yeah, it was looking not too great for Erik, but he will have another shot here in game 2. And going first, of course, it's a lot better for the deck. It's very enjoyable as a DRYTRON duelist going first. Going first as a DRYTRON duelist, you can even defeat players like Dinkabui or Jack Verma now here in the finals. And he will need to defeat him 2 times in a row now. So first, let's go step by step. I like that when I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When you're in a match and you lose the first game, you have to go step by step. It's not like you cannot constantly think about, hey, I need to win 2 in a row now. Yeah. You got to be like, hey, I need to win this game now. And then when that's done, you can go to the next phase and you can be like, okay, let's now win the next game. But already getting that thought into your head that you have to absolutely win 2 in a row now, I think that can just lead to you kind of not standing the pressure and kind of making it getting into your head.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And I feel like the more complex thing for Erik now is to really focus on the second game, because with his thought, he might already be in the third game to think how he wins going second.
Yep.
And that's like, and then if you're not taking it step by step, it gets tough. Yeah, like you said. And now we will see Jack likely siding a bit of stuff in, right?
Yeah, there are a couple of cards which would make sense. One is pretty cool, and I mean, this card originally had its comeback when we had DRYTRON format, and then it had another comeback in Telemans format, but I'm talking about DD Crow, because when your opponent is discarding for one of the DRYTRON effects to activate them in the graveyard, you can just chain that DD Crow. Also, pretty niche interaction, but in that matchup, pretty important. When your opponent is tributing the Benton for cost, you can just chain the DD Crow. banish the Benton, and then it will not be able to trigger because it's not in the same place as it would have triggered. Therefore, DD Crow definitely a way to get some good stuff going here. Also, there's different dimension grounds in this side deck.
And that's what
And there's a way to actually nowadays activate trap cards on your opponent's turn already through the area. So that might be a scary endeavor for Erik. But all the questions we have bringing up here in the last couple of minutes will be answered now as we have game 2 ready. Jack Verma versus Erik Bergert. Let's get it going.
Yeah, now they are starting. I think Erik is going first all day, and it might be the last game. But Erik will work for it to not be the last one.
Okay, DRYTRON Nova and Jack Verma doing the same thing than his friend Dinkabui, reading a couple of DRYTRON cards. Sure, let's go ahead. And we are reading DRYTRON Nova. And I mean, yep, that is just summoning out one from the deck. Most likely Alpha, maybe Zeta.
And do you remember when we were talking about decks like Labyrinth having a problem about like Ash and Bell being super good against them? The same is true for DRYTRON.
Same.
And Jack is siding 3 copies of Ghost Spell and Haunt Dimension.
All right, that is definitely a plan to take it on with.
Yeah, but I think Erik has a really high numbered DRYTRON hand, right?
Oh, we go for is that Anima? That should be.
It should be Anima,
right?
yeah. I think the effect won't matter. It's just more about getting the.
Maybe randomly Jack decides to just summon the Arias into the zone there.
Who knows? Yeah.
You never know. You never know. Okay, Erik now activating the effect of
Alpha
Tribute Zeta.
And does Jack have an interrupt? I mean, what would you do?
Oh, there's the DD Crow we were talking about. And don't tell me. Oh, of course. We go for another
second DD Crow.
What is going on? That first DD Crow is getting negated by Ghost Spell, but the second one just taking care of the Alpha anyways.
Jack is just saying that Alpha will not resolve here.
Yep, indeed.
And I can tell you, he's only siding 2 DD Crows.
He had them both there, but still we have another DRYTRON to discard. So Zeta in the graveyard activating now, tributing the Delta. But after that, only one last card left in hand. Of course, we can now search for Meteona's DRYTRON, but that's not doing too much, to be honest.
That's the thing I want to ask you, like, are you even trying to prevent the Alpha or rather the Zeta? Because Zeta consistently stops the ritual spell of coming back. But if you're like negating the Alpha, but your opponent already has the Benton, you didn't do anything.
Yeah, okay, sure, I do agree. And it looks like Erik has another monster that he can tribute. Of course, he can just tribute with Zeta, sure.
Will he now show something like a Benton? Because I think if he would have one, it would have come very earlier, much earlier.
I think so too. I don't expect Benton here, and Jack is thinking about this. So he has another response. Is it maybe Ash Blossom that he's also
maybe the Ghost
here?
Spell?
That could also be possible.
But then what is left in Erik's hand?
But also in Jack's hand, right? And it is indeed Ghost Spell! What a festival of cards that is here! DD Crow 1 and 2, and now Ghost Spell 1 and 2 as well. But there's
Danko Sekka!
Normal summon! What is going on here?
Does Jack have an out?
This is the finals of this tournament.
Ariana isn't out in theory.
No, it's not big enough though.
No, he can just grab the lady. Special summon next turn.
Okay, over time it would be an out. You're right. Over time it would be an out.
There he grabs it. He grabs the lady.
Oh boy, what is going on in here? What a great game.
Jack even has a Morna left in hand.
Okay.
This is crazy. And
we can just actually go ahead and go into
is there like
good old...
Is there a Code Breaker or something?
I mean, no, we just go for Muckraker here and summon back one of the monsters, and then we can attack over the...
We can special back the big lady.
Yeah, and then we can just immediately attack over that good old
And Erik is on 1 card in hand, which is the Meteona's DRYTRON, I think, isn't it? Or did it go...
Yeah. No, it is definitely that. And there comes the Muckraker. Muckraker discards, I think, Mourner. Indeed.
I think I saw the last card in Jack's hand, which is Ghost Spell.
Ooh, and that can stop quite a bit of stuff by Erik. Because, I mean, his graveyard is loaded, so every DRYTRON basically is a pretty good top deck, or like a Benton or something. But if it is Benton, that would be crazy, because then we can at least can protect or prevent.
But the thing is now, if he doesn't get rid of Muckraker next turn, Jack can just special back Ariana and her follower for days.
Of course. So that is, of course, some damage now coming through. Jack being sure of what he does, got rid of that Danko Sekka, and now does he also find a card to set to the back row, or is he just going to pass it over? Okay, he does.
Erik now has what Yugi Muto would call a destiny draw. So let's see.
Destiny draw time for Erik. Did he find it?
He really needs it here.
Activating one effect in the graveyard, maybe?
Oh no, he's setting one.
Just
He's
setting
setting
two
two and
cards.
casting it.
Who is the Labyrinth player, I'm asking here? Jack did not even set cards, but Erik finds 2 cards to his spell and trap zone.
And Jack really doesn't need to set cards. It
Yeah,
looks like.
and I mean, let's definitely focus on the life points, because he's down to 5,700 life points here, so it's not that far off for Jack Verma anymore to maybe make this his game here and make it a 2 here very swift and quickly.
Yeah, Jack now really needs a mirror for Erik needs a mirror for.
Oh, we are activating the effect of Muckraker, discarding another card, bringing back the Ariana. And that is close to game right away there. I mean, that, of course, that lady is like huge. Muckraker isn't super small either, and Ariana too. I think that might be, in addition, just game right there.
I mean, and I think Jack is calculating it right now.
Yeah, I think this could be game technically.
Oh yeah, and Jack discarded a big welcome Labyrinth as well. To have another interruption in his opponent's turn. What is Erik even having set there?
I have no clue. One of them is Meteor's DRYTRON, we know that, but the other one is definitely the only card that can help him here.
I mean, you know what? I mean, for most ironically, it could be Happy Featherstorm.
Technically, that's true, yeah.
But we will see, I think. Jack is in such a good position here. And he's adding the Chandrangolier. And he is just normal summoning it. And
they're nodding. They're having handshake, extending it. It's double Meteor's DRYTRON for Erik. And Jack Verma is the champion of the 2024 HDK. Congratulations. What a player. Not his first title, but another one. That was really a great game to witness there. It was also so much fun. Like, that DD Crow, Ghost Spell, and then, of course, Denko Sekka. I thought Denko Sekka might be the final answer, but no, it was not at all.
Jack just found the lion, going for the Muckraker, reviving it, so the Denko doesn't stay any turn there.
Absolutely crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed that final, because that was an absolute banger of a game. We will be back in a second with our winner, crowning him, congratulating him, and definitely celebrating Jack Verma as our new champion. So be back for that in just a second. And here we have him, Jack Verma, our new champion, the HDK champion of 2024. Congratulations. How does it feel, Jack?
Feel amazing.
Pretty good, right? Winning a tournament again?
Yeah.
It has been a while since you won a big one, right?
Yeah, but I also already won one Hadeka.
Oh, when was that? What year was it?
I think 2019 or 20.
Oh, quite a while ago, yeah. Was it with a trap deck back in the day as well?
I think it was last one.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was a signature deck of you as well, though. So, do you think Labyrinth is still the best deck at the moment? Or why did you decide to play it today? I mean, you have a lot of experience with it because you played it the last couple of months, of course, but still in a good spot?
I think it's a pretty good deck. I don't think there is a best deck right now. There are many decks you can play. Every deck has the good points and bad points.
Yeah.
Labyrinth is solid, I think. I didn't test it that much for this format because I played another deck all the time for like 2 weeks. Then yesterday night I decided to just play Labyrinth.
What was it? Can you give it away, or is it a secret?
It's a combo pile.
Okay. You like your combo piles too?
It's Runic War Chalice.
Okay. This man cooking.
But I didn't practice enough against every matchup.
Yeah.
The deck is pretty good, but I just thought like, okay, bring a deck you can play really good.
And just win the tournament then. I mean, it worked out pretty well, didn't it? At the end of the day. So yeah, finals were pretty quick. Were you scared of that Denko Sekka, or did you immediately know you could answer it?
I mean, I knew Ariana is an out to Denko Sekka. I just was afraid of a hand trap on my Muckraker.
Yeah.
It would have been better, I think, when I just go Clara and Rushka and then SP on the Denko Sekka.
Fair, yeah.
And play around the hand trap.
Sounds good.
But it was okay. I didn't get punished for that.
Yeah. But everyone at home, notice that. A great Yu-Gi-Oh player, even though he just won the tournament, even though he won the game and the play was completely fine at all, still thinks about what he could have done better just after. So when you are even winning, review your plays, think about your lines, try to improve, try to become a better player, and then at some point you may as well win tournaments as Jack Verma did here. Once again, congratulations for being the champion. Philip, any last words for your first tournament here casting? Did you enjoy it?
It was a nice event. It was crazy finals, to be honest. Yeah. Seeing those big hand trap hands and then just Ariana on the Denko Sekka. Yeah. It was crazy. It was
super enjoyable. So some final words. thank you everyone for joining us for the stream today. So many viewers we had, so many followers, all the subs. It was really, really a big party. I had such a blast. I hope you guys at home had as well. And thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us for the entire time. Once again, of course, also shout outs to all the sponsors that made this tournament possible. Without them, that would have not been a show. And we had quite a show. And yeah, I think also, of course, definitely thank you to the people in the background. Here are operators and also the people designing the graphics. I think our stream looked beautiful today. So I hope we can repeat that in the next year for another edition of the HDK. So with that, I think no more words have to be said. See you very soon for more streams. Everyone, Lampy Wajo, Icendrix, and our champion Jack Verma signing out. Bye-bye.